So the other day, I was having a conversation with myself, and I was pretty much like, damn, that's crazy because, I used to be in a certain level in my life. And in that time that I was at that level, I was accepting like certain things that I wouldn't accept, or I was doing certain things, accepting certain things in environments or with certain individuals in relationships or friendships with that I wouldn't be with in that now. Whenever something isn't for you, there is constantly going to be this friction. There's constantly going to be there's constantly going to be this confliction happening between you and that thing or person or group of people that is constantly making you either feel it's constantly going to be this friction and confliction and stuff like that. Like y'all are either going to keep butting heads, never seeing eye to eye. Y'all are just not going to be complementary to each other. Y'all aren't going to be on the same level. And that can show up in a lot of different ways. It can show up in like disrespect. It can show up in just someone just not understanding you or coming off as if they don't understand you. It comes out in so many ways. And then so pretty much like just when you are in that sector of your life, things are going to feel very hard. Things are going to feel harder. I think there's a difference between something being like challenging versus like something being like, oh my gosh, it doesn't matter what I do, the answer is always no, or the outcome is never a good outcome, or there's never a good solution. It's because you're with people, around people, or in environments that you shouldn't be in, and because you feel like you've emotionally invested into that in some way, shape, or form, you're not ready to leave that yet. So you keep trying and trying and trying, and you keep pushing and pushing and pushing to like be accepted or be seen there, but there's all the signs that's telling you it's okay to leave. It's okay to start over. It's okay to like not be here anymore. This environment is not for you. It's not conducive for you. It's not helping you. It's actually making you, whatever. And then I had to think about like from my personal experience, like situations that I will think about in this present moment, and it'll reappear in my mind, situations that I hated that happened. Like, damn, I hate that that even happened. I hate that I even like went through that with that person, right? But I can't, and like I'll have to like forgive myself for like some shit, and I'll be like, damn, like, I hate that I even like betrayed myself in that way, right? And then I just said, you know what, fuck that. I can't keep like if I repeat these reoccurring moments in my mind, and I'm not like turning that into like a positive thing, then it's just going to be always a negative thing. So I had to come to the conclusion that like I can't be mad that I betrayed myself in the past, because if I guess I didn't go through that, then I would not have known like now. I wouldn't be where I am now, like sometimes you come here or you're born here and you're like your specific whatever's tailored to you, like whatever your blueprint is, it puts you on like a certain journey to where you'll go through like a lot of shit, or you'll put yourself in a lot of shit, and it'll seem like self-sabotage, but really it's like you are just reawakening back to like whatever it is that you're supposed to be. So like it's like subconsciously you don't even know, like you're operating some shit that you probably been knew was gonna happen, but you didn't know was gonna happen for real. Like the way that you're operating is just only to guide you back into like pretty much like what you're supposed to be. All the magnificent and like great things that you're supposed to be, pretty much all the hard shit that you like did and kept doing back then, whatever that may be, relationship wise, whoever, that was to help you understand. Cause you didn't get it back then. You were just kind of lollygagging. You was just like, whatever, you were young. But you get it now. So that affects pretty much like everything that you went through, your whole lesson, that you grasp the keys, you got the gems now. So now you're walking with the gems. So now you'll never sit up here and like subject yourself to that old shit. But you just have to go through what you had to go through so that way you can understand who you are. You would not have understood who you were if you didn't go through no shit. You wouldn't even have like the self-worth that you have now if you didn't even go through the shit that you put yourself through or whatever, or that you went through, you know? So instead of being mad about the stuff that you allowed yourself to go through, be glad, because don't get mad, get glad. You remember that? Be glad that now you know who you are versus rethinking about the things that have already happened and be like, damn, I can't believe I did this. I can't believe like that happened. I can't believe like it's like, nah, be glad that you know who you are now. Be glad that you get it now. And no one really wants to go through that, but it's the truth. It's like, how else would you have become who you are now? How else would you have evolved to this person, to this like present day version of you, if you didn't go through that? Now, not everyone has to go through these like lessons and stuff, but everyone does have a lesson to learn. That's why we're here. So instead of, because I mean, I'm just speaking to myself, to be honest, because there's times where I'm like, ew, I was settling for this. Ugh. Like, there's times where I genuinely feel that way. But then now I'm able to rewire my mind to where it's like, but look where I am now. Like, look who I am now. Why would I ever shame myself? Oh, that's another thing. We can't shame ourselves for anything. Now, don't get me wrong, like, it's okay to like have like self-judgment and assessment. But honestly, if you know that you're doing better than what you used to be doing and that you've grown, don't shame yourself for whatever happened in your past. Just accept that and say, okay, well, I've shedded that skin. And even though I've shedded that skin, I still appreciate that past version of me because she had to walk so this version of me can run. So either way it goes, we're both integrated. She's still here. It's just that he or she is still here. It's just that, we're just better now. We're greater now. We're moving forward. We're not looking back. So, you know, you gotta just appreciate where you are now. Um, and don't be too strict and hard on yourself because realistically, no one is. People are faking the funk every day and people are just not in touch with yourself. Like, if you're living authentically, that's like the best thing that you could do in this day and age. I feel like if you were genuinely like living how you're supposed to be living, as far as saying no when you want to say no, doing what you want to do, you're winning. Every time you choose yourself, you are winning. Every time you choose yourself, you're winning. So all I'm saying is don't ever let nobody sit up here and shame you for a version of you that they knew in a time where you didn't know as much as you know now. First of all, don't let no one shame you in general. Um, but yeah. Also, growing is great because literally it'll inspire not just internal growth is so it's so potent. Like internal growth will really shift your whole mindset because you could do all the extra shit you want to do externally. Like you can move out of the city, you can move wherever, you can go here, you can go there. But if you haven't dealt with like your internal stuff, then the same lessons are going to just keep following you and following you. Like the same archetypes, the same challenges, you won't be able to run away from that. It'll the constant themes will keep showing up in your life. The constant issues will keep showing up in your life. So that's just internal growth for you. Knowing um that you have to face what challenges you have, whether that be standing up for yourself, speaking up, um, all this extra stuff. Whenever you finally experience like that internal growth, then I promise you, like yeah, like your reality will just naturally want to like unfold differently based off of how you think. So you might be like, damn, like you might have been comfortable living in your hometown and now your ass is just like, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to live somewhere else. I want to go here and there because like I don't know, like now your environment, you crave and desire like a different environment because you've just been growing and stuff. Or you crave and desire a different kind of um intimacy or different kind of people to be with. So you no longer may not resonate with like certain people. And it happens the way that it happens, it'll happen like slow, like when you're working on yourself, like whatever that is, whatever that intricate process is, it'll like happen, but it'll feel like slow, it'll feel boring, it'll feel like it'll look so boring and feel so boring. And then you'll look up 5 years later, 2 years later, 3 years later, and be like, damn, like where did the time go? Because I remember like just back in this year, I was literally on this type of time, and now I'm so much better, and I've just grown, and it's just crazy. Like the time really flies by when you love yourself. So yeah, that's why you got to really appreciate the moment. Time flies by too when you're not loving yourself. Time flies by too when you're not also loving yourself. Okay, you'll look up 5 years later, it's like, damn, I can't believe I'm still, you know? So love yourself enough to deal with the shit that you don't want to deal with. Because I guarantee you, it's not going to get better if you keep ignoring it and making excuses and self sabotaging and just fulfilling yourself through addiction, fulfilling escapism, all this other stuff. That's not going to get you anywhere. You want a better quality life, you got to be stricter about the things that you accept. And the process will not always be pretty because you will lose people, you will have you will have a different kind of it looks different for everyone depending on what it is. So don't get mad about things, get glad that you know who you are now, because if you didn't know who you were, like if I like now, like that I feel like I know who I am. Damn, personally I'm like, where the fuck was this information back then? Like, I'm like, damn, like why is it just not catching up to me? I fucking hate that. I guess I knew this whole time, but like I'm fine. It's like one of those things where it's just like, aha, huh, okay. I wish I knew this back then, but it's cool. I guess it wasn't meant for me to it wasn't meant for me to know yet for whatever reason. So I guess food for thought.